ಹಾಯ್ ಹಲೋ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸೀರೀಸ್ಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇವತ್ತು ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಬಂದು 7th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಇದೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್. ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್, RTI ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್. Right to information, RTI. The basic aim of the RTI Act is to empower the citizens. Number 2, to promote transparency and accountability in the working of the government, contain corruption, and make our democracy work for the people in real sense. You can seek necessary information about various activities of the government through an RTI application. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ RTI. ಸೊ RTI ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಏಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ RTI ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ಟು ಎಂಪವರ್ ದ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆನ್ಸಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇನ್ ದ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್, contain corruption, and make our democracy work for the people in real sense. You can seek necessary information about the various activities of the government through an RTI application. Next is how to apply. The application can be made on a plain paper. Submit it along with the fee to the public information officer called PIO of the department concerned. You may also send it through the post office. Next, application fees. Application fee. You need to pay the application fee 10 rupee through a cash or a demand draft or IPO or banker's check for the information on matters related to the central government departments. The fee is different for the state government departments. So the further details RTI log on ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋಂಥದ್ದು. Next, the following are the applicable to all the maps of India used in the textbooks. ಸೊ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ತುಂಬ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪಿಕ್ಚರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋಂಥದ್ದು, ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಅ ಬೆಟರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಅ ಬೆಟರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರಿನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಏನು ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಲಾಂಗ್ ವೆಕೇಷನ್, when Ravi started going to school again, he noticed that only playground next to his school was dead. People said that huge buildings with many flats will be constructed there. Ravi was almost in tears when he realized that the big playground with its soft grass, marigolds, and butterflies is gone forever. He shared his feelings with his classmates in the assembly. The principal too sadly observed, see how our environment is changing ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ. ಇದೊಂದು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಎಸ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ದ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್? What is environment? Environment is whatever we see in our surrounding. Whatever we see in our surrounding is called environment. Are the following are the parts of the environment? Like school buildings are the part. Yes, school buildings are the parts of the environment. Tables and chairs are the part of the environment. An open field is a part of the environment. Road is a part of the environment. Garbage is a part of the environment. Friends are the part of the environment. Okay, next question. Are all things in the environment the same type? No. Some are created by the nature and others are made by the human beings also. Next question. What are the examples of the things created by the nature? Examples of the things that is created by the nature. Examples: mountains, rivers, trees, animals. These are the examples of things created by the nature. What are the some examples of things made by the human beings? Examples: roads, cars, clothes, books. Next question. Make a list of things created by the nature and by human beings. ಸೊ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಪ್ರೇಟಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಬಂದು ಮೌಂಟೇನ್, ರಿವರ್ಸ್, ಟ್ರೀಸ್, ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್, ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಸನ್, ಮೂನ್, ಏರ್, ವಾಟರ್, ಸಾಯಿಲ್, ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್. ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ನೇಚರ್. ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬೈ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್, ಹೌಸಸ್, ರೋಡ್ಸ್, ಕಾರ್ಸ್, ಬಸ್ಸಸ್, ಟೇಬಲ್, ಚೇರ್, ಬುಕ್ಸ್, ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್, bridges, machines, computers, mobile phones, garbage, that is waste produced by the humans. You can add more examples from your surrounding also. Just think it is made by the nature or a people. Okay, yes. Next, what is our basic life support system? Environment is our basic life support system. Okay, what does the environment provide us? What does the environment provide us? It provides air that we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, and the land where we live. So these are all provided by the environment. How do human beings modify the natural environment? Human beings change the natural environment in different ways. How do how do car fumes affect the environment? Car fumes pollute the air. How is water used by the human being? The water is collected in a pot. How is food used by human beings? The food is served in a vessel. How is land used by the human being? The land is used to build factories. What do human beings make? The human beings make cars, mills, factories, and manufacturing containers. How do human beings modify the natural environment overall? Overall ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ by making cars, mills, factories, and containers, human beings modify the natural environment. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದ್ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏರ್, that is atmosphere, water, that is hydrosphere, land, that is lithosphere, and living things, that is biosphere. Human made ಅಲ್ಲಿ buildings, parks, bridges, roads, industries, monuments. And human ಅಲ್ಲಿ individual, family, community, religion, educational, economic, and political situation. These are all comes under human. These are all the components of environment. Components of environment. Okay. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ವೈ ಈಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್? ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಡೇ ಬೈ ಡೇ. ಆರ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಡೇ ಬೈ ಡೇ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಫೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಈವನ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈಗ ವರ್ಡ್ ಆರಿಜಿನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್? ಸೊ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ ಬಂದು ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಆರಿಜಿನ್. ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ವರ್ಡಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋಂಥದ್ದು, ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ವರ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್? ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನರ್ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನರ್. NER, ಎನ್ವಿರಾನರ್ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನರ್. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಡಸ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನರ್ ಮೀನ್? ಎನ್ವಿರಾನರ್ ಮೀನ್ ನೈಬರ್ಹುಡ್. ಹಾಗಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ನೈಬರ್ಹುಡ್ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್? What is called environment? What is called environment? The place, the people, the things, the nature, and that surround any living organisms are called environment. What is environment? Is combination of a combination of natural and human made phenomena. Natural and human made phenomena. Okay, next question. What does the natural environment refers to? Natural environment refers to both biotic as well as abiotic condition existing on the earth. What does human environment reveal? Human environment reveals the activities, the creation, the interactions among the human beings. Now, what do you mean by biotic? What do you mean by biotic? So biotic mean the world of living organisms. Biotic means the world of living organisms. What does biotic world include? What did include? So it includes all living organisms. It includes all living organisms. Give an examples of biotic. Next is about abiotic. What does abiotic mean? Abiotic mean the world of non-living elements. So what does abiotic world include? It includes all non-living things. Give an examples of an abiotic component ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ that is land. ಇದನ್ನು ಇವನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೊಡೋದು. ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್. abiotic mean world of non-living organisms. Biotic world include living organisms. Abiotic world include non-living elements. Example for biotic components are plants and animals. Example of an abiotic component is land. Next we will start with natural environment. The first is natural environment. Natural environment. In natural environment, what things comprises the natural environment? Land, water, air, plants and animals comprise the natural environment. What are the main components of the natural environment? Land, water, air, plants and animals. Same thing. What terms are you already familiar with from your previous classes? That is lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. Right? What should we do next about these domains? So we have to learn the facts about these domains. Okay, first headline is lithosphere. What is the lithosphere? What is lithosphere? Lithosphere is a solid crust or the hard top layer of the earth. What is lithosphere made of? Lithosphere is made up of rocks and minerals. What covers the lithosphere? It covers thin layer of the soil. What kind of surface does the lithosphere have? It has an irregular surface. What are some landforms found on the lithosphere? Mountains, plateaus, plains, valleys, etc. What are landforms found? The landforms are found over the continents and also on the ocean floors. What does the lithosphere provide us? It provides forest, grassland for grazing, land for agriculture, and human settlements also. What else is the lithosphere source of? Lithosphere is a source of mineral wealth. Okay, let's do some activity. Iruantadu question. Look at your surroundings. Uses that land is neighborhood is being put to. So uses of land ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. Here is a simple here is a sample list of users ಅಥವಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅದಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ನೇಬರ್ಹುಡ್. ಏನೇನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಯೂಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ನೈಬರ್ಹುಡ್ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಲೈಕ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೌಸಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅನ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್, ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್, ಶಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಸ್, parks and playground, hospitals and clinics, banks, religious places like temples, churches and mosques, agricultural fields is in a nearby rural areas, empty plots or construction sites, parking areas, small industries or workshops. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಲಿಥೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಲಿಥೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಕ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಟಾಪ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ rocks and minerals, and it covers a thin layer of soil and kind of surface is irregular surface, and it provides some landforms like mountains, plateaus, plains, valleys, and found over the continents as well as ocean floors also, and it provides forest, grassland for grazing, land for agriculture and human settlements, and it is a source of mineral wealth. Next ಈಗ hydrosphere. What is the domain of water called? ನಾವಿಲ್ಲೂ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಲಿಥೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ಗೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಡೊಮೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ದ ಡೊಮೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಲಿಥೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಡೊಮೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್? ದ ಡೊಮೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ hydrosphere. What does the hydrosphere comprise? It comprises various sources of water and different types of water bodies. What are the examples of water bodies in the hydrosphere? Rivers, lakes, seas, oceans. Why is the hydrosphere important? It is essential for all the living organisms. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಡೂ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ, ವೇರ್ ಡಸ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ you use in your home and school come from? Make a list of different uses of water in our daily life. Have you seen anyone wasting water and how? Okay, where does the water we use in home and school come from? Our question is answer. The water we use usually comes from rivers, lakes, wells, ponds, reservoirs, and sometimes from groundwater also, or some from a municipal water supply system also. Okay, so ಈಗ next question. Different uses of water in our daily life. First one, drinking, cooking food, bathing, washing clothes, cleaning utensils, cleaning home and classroom, watering plants, washing vehicles, in schools for drinking and washing hands, in industries and factories also. Next question. Have you seen anyone wasting water and how? Yes, water is often wasted in many ways, such as number 1, leaving taps open while brushing teeth. Number 2, water overflowing from the tanks. Number 3, washing roads or vehicles with too much water. Number 4, leaking taps not repaired. Number 5, using more water than needed for cleaning. So saving water is very important because it is precious natural resources. Okay, saving water is very very important because it is a precious natural resource. Next, related Atmosphere, the third domain of the natural environment, that is atmosphere. So what is atmosphere? What is atmosphere? Atmosphere is a thin layer of air that surrounds the earth. What holds the atmosphere around us? What holds the atmosphere around us? The gravitational force of the earth holds the atmosphere around us. What atmosphere protect us from? The atmosphere protects us from the harmful rays and scorching heat of a sun. What does the atmosphere consist of? Atmosphere consisting of number of gases, dust and water vapor. What do changes in atmosphere produce? What do changes in atmosphere produces? Changes in the atmosphere produces the weather and the climate. ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು let's do. Observe the sky while coming to school. Make a note whether the day is cloudy, rainy, sunny, foggy, etc. Observation of the sky while coming to school. Yeah, the sky is sunny and clear. There are no clouds in the sky. The sun is shining brightly. The weather feels. If your actual day is different, you can change it like cloudy, rainy, foggy, etc. based on what you observe. Fine. ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಸನ್ನಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ತುಂಬ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರ ಕ್ಲೌಡ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಒಂದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ದ ಸನ್ ಈಸ್ ಶೈನಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ರೈಟ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾರ್ಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲೆಸೆಂಟ್ ವೆದರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫೈನ್. ಬಂದು ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟು ಬಯೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್. ಡೂ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಮೇಕ್? ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಮೇಕ್ ದ ಬಯೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಯೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬಯೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಟು ಅರ್ತ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ನ್ಯಾರೋ ಝೋನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್. ಇದು ವರ್ಡ್ ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನ್ಯಾರೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡು ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನ್ಯಾರೋ ಝೋನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್. Happens in the biosphere. The land, water, air interact with each other. Why do the land, water and air interact in the biosphere? They interact ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ to support life. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಯೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಮುಗೀತು. ಸೊ ಬಯೋಸ್ಪಿಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್? ಎನ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ is a system formed by an interaction of all living organisms with each other and with the physical and the chemical factors of the environment in which they live. Okay, what is an ecosystem? Ecosystem is a system formed by the interaction of all living organisms with each other and chemical factors of the environment in which they live. All parts of the ecosystem are linked. Okay, all parts of the ecosystem are linked by transfer of energy and the material. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸು ಕೂಡ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು. ಹೌ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಬೈ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಒಂದಿಂದ ಒಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ರಮ್ ನಾನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ನಾನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಟು ನಾನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬೈ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. Next question, what did the heavy downpour remind someone of? It reminded of home where it rains heavily over lush green fields and coconut plantation. Not important, just leave it. It has a lush green. Okay, how is the environment described in such rainy season? So rainy season ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, it has a lush green fields and coconut plantation with heavy rainfall. Next question, what is the condition of the places in desert? Desert ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Deserts have very little rain and are covered with a sand and thorny plants like kikar, Kikar, kikar. Next, what animals are commonly found in the desert? Animals ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? Camels, snakes, lizard and many insects are found in the desert. Do animals, vegetation and human life differ from place to place? Yes, they vary from place to place because of differences in the environmental condition. Are all living organisms and their environment related to each other? Yes, they are very much related to each other. They are means here living organisms and their environment are very much related to each other. On what do all plants, animals and human beings depend? All plants, animals and human beings depend on their immediate surroundings. What is the relationship among the living organisms? Are often interdependent. forms an ecosystem. What forms an ecosystem? The relation between living organisms and the relation between the organisms and their surroundings form an ecosystem. So what forms an ecosystem? And the relation between the living organisms and the relation between the organism and the surrounding form an ecosystem. Okay, what are some examples of large ecosystem? Large ecosystems include rainforest, very important. Next, grassland. Next, desert, mountains, lakes, rivers, and oceans. Can you give an example? Be small. Like what are some examples of a small ecosystem? Anta nodadadre, yes, ecosystem can be small, such as small pond. Small pond is an example for small ecosystem. ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಏನು ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್, ಆ ಪಾಂಡ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಪಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಬೆಳೆದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್, ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ರಿವರ್ಸಿಂದ ಫಾಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, a pond ecosystem. Next question: do you think the park where the children played formed an ecosystem? ನೋಡಿ, ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ the park where the children can be considered an ecosystem because it has living organisms like plants, birds, insects, people, as well as the non-living things like air, soil, water, and sunlight. All these interact with each other and depend on one another, which forms an ecosystem. Next, do you know what is this? Do you know when is the World Environment Day celebrated? Is the World Environment Day celebrated? The World Environment 5th June every year. Okay, so this completes natural environment. So natural environmentally okay. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು, ಸೊ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಥೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್, ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್,